Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light, while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, a Merry Christmas Day. We're chasing snowflakes as they're falling down, and follow Rudolph all across the town. Later we meet under the mistletoe, while Santa's busy saying ho, ho, ho. We're feeling jolly, eating Christmas cake, and then we go skating on the frozen lake, saying hi to every friendly face, and later we warm up by the fireplace. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Merry Christmas Day. A Merry Christmas Day. Oh, oh, yeah. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as we walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Yeah, a Merry Christmas Day. Dancing around the Christmas tree, wishing all a Merry Christmas. Dancing around the Christmas tree, wishing all a Merry Christmas. Dancing around the Christmas tree, wishing all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, 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 Jingle bells ringing in my ear, jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light, while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, we're chasing snowflakes as they're falling down, and follow Rudolph all across the town. Later we meet under the mistletoe, while Santa's busy saying ho, ho, ho. We're feeling jolly, eating Christmas cake, and then we go skating on the frozen lake, saying
seems a little ironic, and it is something you're not going to want to hear, something you're not going to want to acknowledge. Life gets harder when you try to make it easy. Oh gosh, this may be hard. This yoga may be hard. Not that hard because you modify it, but this may be hard in this moment. But not being able to move with ease and flexibility and mobility throughout your day makes life harder. Ooh, yeah, think about that one. That's a tough one. This investment in your time and this effort is very, very well spent. And I say very, very twice. All right, give it a try. This is your yoga. What have you got to lose? And I've got a question for you at the end of the practice. So it's a good question, and it's a good rhetorical question. I think you're going to like it. I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. It's Piper and Bonnie and Dwayne, and this is your 1 hour long live yoga practice from home. You do it your way, you modify it your way, and you just have fun. Most importantly, do what's right for your body. Everybody's body is different. Boy, isn't that the truth? And every day is different. Isn't that very, very true, too? Every day is different. Modify the poses to make them work for you. You want to feel good. That's what we're after, just feeling good in our bodies. You don't have to take a pose to 110%. You can do it at 50%. You can skip it all together, but whatever you do, don't hurt. Ease off the pressure. You make this work for you. You do what you can with what you got. Word to think about today, it's a great one. It's an easy one. It's smile. Put a smile on your face. Just try it. It makes a difference. Turn up the corners of that mouth. It makes a difference. Feel good. One, just kind of, maybe it's forced today. Maybe it's forced right now, but just do it. It eases the tension in your head and it feels good. What else eases the tension are some props. Here are the props you're going to need for today. Our usual props: 2 yoga blocks. Piper's moving the camera. 2 yoga blocks. A little hand towel and an eye shade are wonderful. Thanks again, Lori. And I always like to have a strap. We're going to use the strap today, but I always say, use a strap or a jump rope or a dog leash or a belt from your robe. I'm going to use the belt from my robe today for something different. Different is good. Have some water handy too. You're going to want that, and we're going to come up to standing. All right, the water. You got to stay hydrated. Really important. Easy to forget to do. Easy to forget. If you're in a cold climate where we are, I don't want to drink water, but drink lots of water. It'll make you feel better. All right, let's come up to standing. Let's lock in a stress number on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. I always ask this question every day, but that's not the question I'm going to ask you at the end. Got another question. All right, stress number, scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Where are you? What's going on in your body today, right now? So lock in that number. We'll come back to it in the end. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And a deep sighing breath out through your mouth. Breathing is so important in yoga. Take deep breaths, be comfortable, and just be aware of your breath. Focus inward. All right, feet a little wider than hip width distance apart. We're going to take that confidence stance. Place your hands on your hips. Settle your shoulders back and down. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. As you take your big breath in, feel your chest kind of puff up like a warrior. And as you audibly make that sound coming out of your mouth with the exhale, settle in. Now, let's come on up to our toes. Bring your heels behind your feet and lift and lower. Breathe up and down. And just get comfortable with your foundation, your feet. All right, it's a busy week. It is certainly a busy week. Don't neglect yourself. Come back to your yoga. Come back to your mat. Do what you can. Take this time. If you can only squeeze in 10 minutes, that's okay. Nobody's judging you. But just do this little warm-up. And even break down these poses and do your little warm-up throughout your day. It's a busy week. We started it off last night with a great visit to a Hanukkah party. It was very, very wonderful and a great way to start the season. Wasn't the song fun this morning? Before we started, I liked it. All right, lift and lower. How are you doing? Wake up your calves, your foundation, heels behind your toes. Try to be aware of that. And settle in. Settle into your nice solid feet. Now put the weight more into your heels and lift your toes on up. Stretch your toes up towards your shins. Hands are still on your hips. Wiggle your toes and then plant your feet. Let's go into an extended mountain pose. Lift your arms on up high to the sky. Fingers reach. Stretch, reach. Chest remains lifted. Big breath in. And big breath out. Settle in the shoulders. Palm tree pose. Interlace your fingers, palms up toward the sky. Start to sway gently from side to side. You have some beautiful weather in Florida, Betty and Liz. I'm envious. I check the weather there every day, and it's lovely. Here in Colorado on Thursday, I think our high is like -1. Oh, it's crazy. Breathe. Lynn, the card with Gracie is adorable. Thank you so much. Hi, Lori. Hi, Scott. Hope you're doing well. All right, how are you doing in your palm tree pose? Lateral flexion of the spine. All right, let's finish up. Bring your hands to your low back. Squeeze your elbows toward your spine. Push your belly forward. Look forward and then look up. Not terribly far. Hello to Tammy and Esther. How are you doing? I hope Max is practicing. Life is good. And then exhale, fold forward. Fold forward, let your arms hang heavy. Look down to your knees, up toward your belly button. Just a little forward fold. Little bend in your knees feels good. Big breath in and big breath out. Let the spine decompress. Shake your neck. Shake your head. Loosen it up. Still taking your big breaths. Still your head at the midline of your body. Chin tucked to your chest. Slowly roll your spine up one vertebra at a time. Remove your chin from your chest last. Come on up to standing. Let's do big arm circles. Arm circles in one direction. Really get into the shoulders or not. Maybe it doesn't feel good. Make them smaller. No big deal. Add in the knees. Put a bend in the knees and rise on up. Breathe. Breathe. Oh, bend your knees. Move your knees. You don't appreciate what you have until you lose it. Then you got to work extra hard to come back. So move the knees, move the body, move the shoulders. Take your shoulder circles in the other direction. Breathe. Hello, Marietta. Hello, Steve. Hello, Roger, Kelly, Tina, Elaine, Linda. How are you? Breathe. All right, come on up to your extended mountain. Reach. Big arm circles. Nice job. Lengthen up. Let your arms come down by your sides. Soften in your shoulders. Move them a little bit. Now let's do that big coat swing. So just sway from side to side. Nice controlled twist as you look over one shoulder, then the other. Arms are heavy. Breathe. You have choices in life. Everything you do, you pretty much have a choice, don't you? Thank you for choosing to allow me to practice with you. I appreciate you very much. Turn, twist, maybe take it a little deeper, soften in the shoulders, arms are heavy. And you have choices, but every choice has a consequence. Remember that. Oh gosh, that's another heavy thing to think about. Do I choose the eggnog over my yoga? Or do I do them both? But every choice has consequences. So choosing not to do your yoga has some consequences. You don't have that mobility, that flexibility that we're after. Make good choices and realize the consequences. All right, slow it on down. Come on back to the midline of your body and let's do ragdoll pose. All right, feet about hip width distance apart. Fold forward. Little bend in your knees. Arms can hang here like a rag doll for a second or two. Look back to your knees. Look up towards your belly button. And then if you like, bend your elbows and reach for opposite elbow creases. Little bend in your knees feels good. Start to sway gently from side to side. Elbow back toward your knee and then the other one. Other elbow back toward the other knee. Breathe. This is your rag doll pose. So any one of these, do them throughout your day. Yoga doesn't have to just be on your mat. Live your yoga off of your mat as well. Let's finish. Come back to the midline. Just hang out here for a second. Maybe lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. Try to fold forward a little bit more. Hollow out your belly. Let your navel go back to your spine. Maybe take your gaze even more back toward your legs. Release your hands to your mat. Child's pose time. This is where you get into your head. All right. So come on down to your mat. You can use a block or no block at all. Knees can be together, big toes touching, hips back to the heels, arms down by your sides. The block you can use to support your head. Shoulders are relaxed and away from your ears. There's classic child's pose. An option. An option. You have a choice. You can spread your knees wide. Big toes are still touching. Hips back to your heels and take a wide-legged child's pose. The block can still be under your forehead, or you can move it to the top of your mat. Arms are reaching long to the top of your mat this time. Head comes down to either the block or the mat. If you got the block at the top of your mat, if you want to get more into your shoulders, place your hands on the block. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Let your yoga time kind of be a sacred time for you. A time where you focus on just you, because it leads to so many great benefits. It makes you a more pleasant person to be around. That's one reason. Secondly, it keeps you more mobile, more flexible, allowing you to do all the things that you want to do in the course of your day. Take a deep breath in and a deep sighing breath out. Let the hips go back even more towards your heels. Close your lips if you like, and breathe in and out of your nose only, building heat in your body and listening to your breath in the back of your throat. Try it. See how you like it. Big breath in and big breath out. Now, just little things. If you're clenching your jaws, create some space between your teeth. Imagine really expanding out the backs of your lungs. And then as you exhale, let the belly hollow out even more. Take another big cycle of breath. And know that you can come back to your child's pose anytime you want and modify it. Maybe the knees get wider spread. Maybe the hands come off of the blocks. Just make it work and make it feel good for you. Find the length in your spine. And when you're ready, if you're ready, stay in child's pose longer if you like. It's totally up to you. I'm going to come on up and do a toes pose and an ankle flow. All right, you could use a block or not. Tuck your toes towards your shins. You could have a seat on the block if you like. You could have a seat on your heels. I think that's a little harder. You can have the blocks nearby because we're going to flow this. It means go back and forth between a toes pose, which is an intense flexion, to an ankle pose, which is an intense extension. All right, so toes are tucked. If it's painful, take it to a lesser percentage. Maybe, hinge forward a little bit. You don't want to hurt. It's not about hurting. It's about feeling good. So you're strengthening your foundation again, really getting into the feet. Let's flow it here. You got the blocks. You can press into them. Bring the tops of your feet onto your mat, and then walk it back with your blocks, and let your knees lift on up. So you're balancing on the tops of your feet. You can press into the blocks if you like, whatever feels good. Think of the blocks as bringing the ground up to you. You could also just use your hands and breathe, or no hands at all, to find your balance. When you're balancing, you're really focusing, aren't you? You're not worried about the past, which you can't change. You're not worried about the future, which you can't change too much either. It might not even happen. So just stay in your present moment. That's one of the beautiful things with your yoga. You focus on the here and now. All right, I'm going to go back and forth. Toes pose, ankle pose. You flow it at your desired pace. It's your choice. Breathe. Big breath in, big shoulder softening breath out. Let it feel good in the toes and the feet and the ankles. You flow it your way, your way. And don't clench your jaws. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Soften in your shoulders. Don't stress over your yoga. Not a place to stress. Let it feel good. I think I'm going to do one more cycle. Breathe. And this is something you could do too throughout your day. Oh, when I sit on the floor and wrap presents for Christmas, I like to do this every once in a while. Breathe. And let's finish. All right, come to a neutral tabletop. You know neutral tabletop. Shoulders are over your wrists, knees are under your hips. Press into the earth, lift your feet up, squeeze and scrunch your toes, circle the ankles, and then tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. Rest here. Take a deep breath in, lengthen through your spine. All the weight is equally pressed into your feet and your hands, nice and equal. Big breath in, big breath out. Time for cat-cow. Inhale, lengthen the crown of your head to the front of your room and your tailbone to the back. Exhale, cat pose. Tuck your chin to your chest and your tailbone under. Send your belly button up towards your spine and arch your back. That's cat. The complementary pose to this is cow. Tailbone lifts, crown of the head lifts, push into the earth. Do a few cat-cows to your cycle of breath. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Come to a neutral tabletop. Take your hands and switch them. How would you switch your hands? All right, to switch your hands, bring your fingers back towards your knees, palms shining forward. Rest here for a moment. Take a cycle of cat-cow. How does it feel in your forearms? If you don't like it, go back to the traditional way of doing your cat-cow with the fingers pointing to the top of your mat. And let's finish up. Neutral tabletop. Bring your hands back to a natural position. Maybe send the weight back in your hips a little bit and then wiggle your fingers. Just circle your wrists a little bit. They kind of feel like your feet do after toes pose. All right, finish up here. Let's come to a neutral tabletop. Neutral tabletop, let's do a cat with an extension. Send your right leg long. Bring the ball of your right foot into your mat. Press here like you're a runner. Press. Feel a nice stretch up your right calf. The right leg is nice and long. Breathe. Lift the right leg up. Send the leg across the midline of your body. Squeeze and hug tightly in your upper inner thighs. Place the top of your right foot down on the earth on the left side of your body. Turn your body to the left and look over your shoulder, maybe back to your foot or maybe back to your knee or your bottom. Nice big stretch here on your right side. Let's open up. Sweep the foot back. Sweep it back nice and straight and long. Sweep it back and around to maybe hip height or something like that. Lift your arm right high up to the sky. Lift your arm right. Lift your right arm up to the sky. Breathe, stretch, you got it. Finish up, hand comes down, knee comes back to meet the other one. Let's do the other side. Left leg extends, ball of the foot on the mat. Press into the earth, stretch your calf. Breathe. You gotta move, right? Move it or lose it. Let the leg cross the midline of the body, top of the foot down. Look over your right shoulder now. Look back even further, maybe to your knee or your bottom. And then this long extended left leg, send it back to its natural position and then lift it up higher, higher, higher to maybe about hip height. Send the left arm up, up, up to the sky, twist and look up. Breathe. Finish up. Right hand comes down to meet, or left hand comes down to meet the right one on the mat. Leg comes back to a natural position. You're back in a neutral tabletop. Let's do bird dog pose. All right, for your bird dog pose, you could bring a block or two to the top of your mat to rest your hand on if you want to do that. All right, let's start with the hand then. Let's take our left hand and send it long to the top of your mat. You could hold on to those blocks, adjust them at whatever height you like. Maybe adjust the blocks so your hand is at about shoulder height even. Now add in the opposite leg, the right leg. Lift the right knee up, extend the leg long. Maybe press into your block and extend through your right toes today. Breathe, reach through your fingers. Now your hand. Normally I like to spread the hand wide with the thumb up to the sky. Right shoulder over right wrist, find length here. Today, I think what I'll do is bring the right hand into a fist and turn the palm face down. Just something a little different. Just try, give the hand a break. Breathe. And then let's finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down, other side. All right, we're going to start with the hand. Move the blocks to the right side. Maybe lengthen through your shoulder. Maybe you think, oh, maybe the blocks are too high or too low. Adjust them. adjust them. Press the hand into the block. Lift the left leg up and reach. Draw the toes toward, point the toes today. Breathe, breathe. The hand can be resting on the block. You can take our classic way with a thumb up and fingers spread wide, or you can ball the hand into a fist, palm face down, and just reach. Reach. Be strong. Weight is equally distributed in the foot and the hand, and your left hip is down as well. And then finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down. That is your variation of bird dog today. All right, cat cow, just to even things out. Chin to your chest, tailbone under. Inhale, cow. Let it be. All right, so I'm going to grab a quick drink, and then we're going to do a plank. We do a plank every day. We set a 1-minute timer. It's up to you. Do you want to do it? Or do you know you have a 1 minute to take a bathroom break if you want, or go get a cup of coffee? But just try your plank. Lots of ways to do it. I say it all the time. Planking builds strength, and we all need to be stronger. Everybody, no matter what age you are, we all need to be stronger. Variations you could take. All right, let's look at these. You can come down. You're in a neutral tabletop. Come on down. Send your hands further forward. Knees spread. You can hinge your weight forward and hold right here. So you got more weight into your arms. It's a great way to start. Don't judge yourself. Be happy with what you got. All right, another variation could be to slip down to your forearms. Maybe spread your knees even wider, have your elbows under your shoulders, and put the weight more forward here. You can hold right here. You can take this to a dolphin plank, a forearm plank. Again, your elbows are under your shoulders, fingers spread wide, hands spread wide. Push into your forearms and come back with your knees together. You could stay right here. You could tuck your toes towards your shins and press on up to a dolphin plank. You can hold it there. You could also, lots of variations. The other day we did 12 variations of plank. Pick what you like, but just don't stick with the same thing all the time. High plank is feet are hip width distance apart. Weight is over your shoulders, shoulders are over your wrists, and you hold here. So let's set a timer now. Take the variation of plank that you like, and the timer's going to be up on the screen, and you can hold your plank yes, timer, please. And then you can hold your plank as long as you like. Oh my goodness. Okay, we don't have a timer today, so let's just hold this plank. We've been here probably 10 seconds or so. Take your deep breaths in and your deep breaths out. You've got it. Take a break when you need to. You could come down to your knees. You could send your hips high for a downward facing dog. Just come out of it whenever is right. Oh no, I'm not doing a timer today. Let's take that timer off. That's too long. I can't do it that long. Can you? Do you want to do it that long? I don't know. Okay, maybe this will be a 2-minute plank today. Hold on. Do what you can with what you got. Take the breaks when you need to. Look at the screen. We're halfway there. Oh my goodness, I'm taking a break. I'm sending my hips high, pressing into the mat. Whew. Breathe. Heart is beating. Come back to it. Even a little quick break is wonderful. We've got 15 seconds to go. All right, so how long will this have been? Maybe 2 minutes? I don't know. Whatever. Don't keep track of it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Down to your knees. Take a break. Oh my goodness. Oh, how long was that? I don't know, maybe 2 minutes or whatever. Whatever you did is awesome. I need a drink. And so is water. All right, that's our plank. Planks make you strong. All right, our core sequence. So we've done some warm up, we've done some strength. We're gonna do core, we're gonna do balancing, we're gonna do spine strengthening, and then we're gonna open up the hips. So much to do, let's do it. All right, Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. Soles of the feet touch, knees open wide. Bring your strap or your jump rope or the belt to your robe up by your shoulders. Knees open wide. Hands in prayer. Lengthen up here through the crown of your head. Soften up through your shoulders. Come back to recline. Once you're all the way down, heels up toward your groin. Knees open wide. Fingers lightly to your temples. Elbows open wide. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Maybe sigh it out. You built up a lot of heat Early on, let's let it go. And when you're ready, chin up to the sky as you exhale, down in the shoulders. Lift and lower through the shoulders. Your shoulder blades, try to get them up off the mat. Your core, your belly, everything is considered your core. Anything you tighten up is your core. So you're tightening up in the belly. Lift and lower. Core is strong. Gotta have a strong core, right? Breathe. Elbows still open wide. Knees still open wide. I'm going to hold it up nice and high and pulse just a little bit, letting my chin pulse up to the ceiling. Breathe. 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 Up as you exhale. A little lower as you inhale. Breathe. 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 That is your Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. Come on down. Oh my goodness. Breathe. Let's do bicycle next. Knees together. Soles of the feet can remain on your mat. A little bit of space between your knees. Bring them about hip width distance apart. All right, you can keep the feet down. You can ride a recumbent bicycle. You can bring your fingers to your to your temples or to your ears. And when you're ready, lift the legs up and then drive the heel towards the front of the room. There's your recumbent bicycle. Maybe you like better balance. Arms teed out or down by your side. Just move your hips. All right, here's something else you can do, keeping the feet planted. Fingers to your temples. Peel on up like we did in our Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. And then work one elbow toward one knee, then the other toward the other knee. Put it all together. Bend your knees and your elbows. Kick, ride the bicycle through to the bottom of your mat and bring opposite elbows to opposite knees. Maybe legs are straight. And you scissor kick them. All right, let's finish. Legs come down, legs go straight, arms go high overhead. Take a stick pose. So stretch it out. Toes point, fingers reach. Stretch it out. Feel the stretch in your hips. Now, let's do boat pose with your strap. Take your strap, place it underneath the centers of your feet. As you're ready, hold on like reins of a horse. Let your heels work on down. Let your chin work on up and come on up to seated. Now, heels. Keep your legs lifted and extended long. Shoulders, bring them back. Chest is lifted. Hold here. Breathe. Just hold. Elbows are hugged in, concise and tight. Yes, you are, and nice and strong. Put a little bend in your knees if that feels good, and then extend through your heels. Feet can be higher, lower. Maybe, if you're kind of new to this, maybe you just want to do one leg at a time. Breathe. Breathe. Be sure to give the other leg equal time too. Hold. Lean back like you're in a recliner. You got it in your boat pose with your belt to your robe. Breathe. I think it's my Costco robe. Breathe. You got it. Soften the shoulders. Hold here. Drive through your heels. Boat pose. Tomorrow, every day our practices are different. Tomorrow, we're going to do a boat pose where we don't have the strap. Or you can hold the strap if you want. So hold on here. You got it. You're strong. Take a break if you need to. Every day our practices are different, as I mentioned. So tomorrow we'll do it without the strap. We have a restorative practice on Thursdays and Fridays, and or Thursdays and Sundays. Some of you had said, oh, it's just lying around in a restorative practice. It's not. You take the poses deeper and you hold them for a long time, and you feel way better in your body and in your head. All right, let's come out of boat pose. Come on down. Heels come down. Fold forward. Walk your hands down both sides of your strap. Take a little forward fold. Look towards your knees. And then finish. Whew. How are you doing? All right, remove your strap. Find your 2 blocks and let's come into a lunge position. Feels really good after doing that with the hip flexors in the boat pose. So blocks are by your side. Right foot comes forward for your lunge. Knee over ankle, okay. Hey, blocks, press into them. Send your left leg super long. Maybe put your towel underneath it to cushion the knee. Breathe. Now let's play with the hands as far as, do you want to rest them on your block? Pop on up, maybe to your fingertips. Maybe bring the shoulders more over the hips. Maybe bring your hands to prayer center. They're all layers that you take and do what's right for you. And if you take a layer and it's not cutting it, if it hurts, go back to the previous layer. Nobody's judging you. Most importantly, don't judge you. Maybe lift your arms up to the sky and look up. Hold on here. Left leg is long on your mat. Maybe take a baby back bend. Maybe go back to fingers reaching high. Maybe go back to prayer center. And definitely, let's go back to the blocks. Let's surf this out. All you're going to do is the right leg, straighten it. Straighten it, sending your bottom back toward your hips. Walk your blocks back. Maybe, or maybe not, sit on your heel. Right toes up toward the sky. So important to bend your knees. Breathe. Walk it forward. Take the blocks even more forward. Let the right knee come forward of the ankle. Stretch it out here. Keep your left leg long. Breathe. Keep holding on to the blocks. Or, there's always an or. There are always choices. Maybe you reach parallel arms forward. Reach. Reach. Let's surf it. Walk these blocks on back toward the heel. Come on back. Maybe reach, maybe not. Maybe you've got a towel under your knee. Get to know what works for you, kind of a statement of the obvious, and bring those props with you next time. Maybe you have your blanket too. All right, I'm going to ditch the blocks and I'm going to challenge my balance. Hands to prayer center, come forward, maybe more forward, maybe reach, just whatever layer seems comfortable today. Breathe. All right, that's enough on that leg, right? Let's come back to standing on the left knee. Let the right knee come to the mat now and bring the left foot forward. Knee over ankle, blocks in place. Right leg goes mega long on your mat. Maybe stay right here. This is the primary pose we're after. The others, kind of a distraction. But you're stretching out the right part of the right hip flexor, that part, the front part of your hips. Breathe here and remember your layers. Fingertips, maybe shoulders more over hips, hands to prayer center, always a good place to be. Big breath in, big breath out. Maybe you stay right here. In fact, some days we do stay right here and just settle in. Perhaps arms lift to the heavens. Take a little baby back bend. Back up to the sky. Exhale, hands to prayer center. Time to walk it out. Hands back to the blocks. Oh, straighten the left leg. Oh, take it slowly. Oh, I feel stiff. And then you too, huh, Piper? Walk your blocks back toward your bottom. And then walk them forward. Back and forth a few times, and maybe your back and forth isn't real deep. Totally fine. Oh, your knees are loving the movement. Maybe take it back further. Maybe take it forward further, allowing the knee to come ahead of the ankle. Breathe. Maybe you decide to reach a little bit or a lot. And then maybe come back to your blocks. Just take it in your desired way. Hands to prayer center for me right now. Balance. Keeping the core strong. You got it. Back as far as you like. Reach as far forward as you like. Graceful, full of movement, full of flexibility and mobility. You got it going on. Let's finish up. All right, let's come back to the starting position with the knee over the ankle. Bring your left knee to meet the right. We're going to go into a downward facing dog as we prepare to do our balancing sequence. Balancing is so important. If you have a chair nearby, you can hold on to it. You could use the wall for balance, but just try. All right, for downward facing dog, hands are on your mat. You're kind of in a neutral tabletop. Tuck your toes towards your shins like you do when your toes pose. And then straighten your legs and send your hips high. Knees, feet are hip width distance apart. Hands are shoulder width distance apart with your fingers spread wide. Think of a string at the end of your tailbone. Pulling your tailbone up to the sky. Adjust your feet so your heels are slightly lifted so we can get a nice calf stretch. Your head, let it hang heavy. Press into your mat. Your head, shake it, move it, let it be heavy. Look back to your ankles or your knees or up toward your belly button. Shake your head. Let it truly be heavy. Press hard into your hands and start to take the dog for a walk. Pedal out your heels, one heel closer to the earth than the other. You're stretching your fascia in your feet, your Achilles tendon, all the way up your calf, all the way up your hamstrings into your glutes. Breathe, pedal it out, maybe come higher onto the balls of the feet. Breathe, tailbone high up to the sky, neck nice and loose. This is your downward facing dog. We'll do this a lot tomorrow too. All right, still your heels. Walk your feet up to meet your hands or your hands to meet your feet. I tend to walk my hands to meet my feet because that way I'm facing the camera correctly. No other reason. Sweep your arms up, rock on up to an extended mountain pose. Take a deep breath in and a deep shoulder softening breath out. Let's do a great pose that physical therapists love. It's called You Will Look Taller. So take the first letter of each of those words and bring your body into that shape. Think YMCA. All right, legs are zipped up together. Arms spread wide overhead into the shape of a letter Y. Press the backs of your hands to the back of the room. This is great for your posture. You look like the big letter Y, which is the beginning of the word you. It's easy to remember it. You will look taller, so do this throughout your day too. The magic, the secret sauce is to press the backs of your hands to the back of the wall. Chest is lifted just like we did when we did our confidence stance. Big letter Y. Now bring your elbows down toward the earth. Let's create a big letter W in your arms, but don't forget to squeeze your upper back as you press the backs of your hands to the back of your wall. You will look. Bring the elbows in. A forward L and a backward L. Squeeze. Chest is lifted. Gaze is up. Tight, strong back. You will look. Now one big T. T out your arms. Pulse your hands to the back of the room. T for taller. Breathe. So you're strengthening all those muscles. What are there, 27 of them up and down your spine? Let's do it again. A big letter Y. We're going to do it faster this time, but don't forget to press the backs of the hands to the back of the wall. W. Squeeze tightly. L for look. One big T for taller. Pulse. Let's do it again. U. Will. Look. T for taller. Finish. Arms down by your sides. Close your eyes. Feel nice and tall, nice and lifted. You've got space in your hips from that lunge. You really strengthened all those muscles up and down your spine. Shoulders are back and down. Head is over your shoulders. Chin is slightly tucked. Your posture is awesome. Nice, straight, good posture. That's what you want. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Lift your arms up to the sky. Let's stretch it out in a half crescent moon. Palms touch. Take a big breath in and lengthen up. Take a big breath out and settle in. Let your hands work to the left side of your body. So bending and shaping your body into a crescent moon. I think the moon's a crescent moon today. Breathe. Chin away from your chest. Top shoulder, the right shoulder back. Breathe. You can stay right here. Keep the weight equally distributed in your feet. Big stretch up that entire right side of your body. When you're ready, if you like, the bottom hand, the left hand, take it and capture your right wrist and give it a gentle, loving tug. Breathe. How does that feel? Keep the feet equal on the earth. Breathe. Now you got to come out of this one slowly. Trust me. Bring your hands back to prayer center, or hands to touch, and then come on up, 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 nice and slowly. Lengthen up. Settle in. Shoulders are soft. Feet are solid. Let's take it to the other side, to the right. Chest away, chin away from the chest. Top shoulder, left shoulder back. Breathe. Stretch. Reach to the right side of your room through your fingertips. Both feet equal on your mat. Staying right here is perfect. If you'd like, right hand captures the left wrist and give it a tug. Breathe. Chin away from the chest. Find that space in that hip that you created in your lunge. Breathe. Slowly, palms back to touch. Slowly come on back up to center. You can kind of feel how if you did this quick, you could tweak some things you don't want tweaked. Lengthen up. Soften in the shoulders. That is your half crescent moon. Bring your arms down by your sides. Bring your hands to your hips. Remember those calf raises we did earlier? Same thing. Come on back up to the balls of your feet. Maybe it's easier now. Maybe you feel more fluid and more mobile in your body. That's what we're after. All right, lift and lower. And then a few times, come down. After a few times, come down on your heels. Lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. Don't you feel more stable? That's a good thing. All right, tree pose, Vrikasana, root into your left foot. Take the weight out of your right, open up the foot, open up the knee to the side of the room. The sole of the right foot can rest inside the ankle. You can send it higher or higher still. Just don't put it on your knee. Press the foot into the leg, leg into the foot. Hands back to prayer center. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Find your tree pose you like. Maybe you like to grow your branches. Maybe you like to have a chair nearby to let one hand rest on. Sway your branches if you like. Hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Right foot meets left on the mat. Other side. Root into the right foot. Weight out of the left foot. Open up the outside of the left knee to the back of your room. Kickstand the foot if you like, or just lift it up a little higher or a lot higher, just not medium high, just not putting it on the knee. Shoulders come back over your hips, hands to prayer center, lengthen up. It really helps to look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet and focus. Nothing else matters but right now. Grow your branches if you like, sway them if you like, push the foot into the leg, leg into the foot, hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room, plant the left foot next to the right. Take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out, hands at prayer center. Just appreciate what you're doing. We're almost done, but it feels so good. Be appreciative of how it feels for you. All right, so let's go into a humble warrior. To do this pose, bend your knees. Put your feet about hip width distance apart. You can keep your hands at prayer center if you like. Bring them to your hips or bring them to your thighs. Sink the weight more back into your heels. See how that feels. Maybe lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. So squat a little bit lower. Squats are so important. You know, if you like to have, if you want to feel more confident in your balance, a chair nearby or extend your arms long to the front of your mat. Try that for a second and then sink your hips a little bit lower and shift the weight back into your heels. Hold here. You got it. Humble warrior pose. Let's do that. Hands back to the hips or to the thighs if you like. Hands to prayer center if you like. Lift one leg up and place it over the standing leg. I'm going to lift my right leg up, place it over my standing left, and I'm going to bend more deeply here. I feel it in my glutes. Feels pretty good. You can keep your hands at prayer center. You can bring your hands behind your low back. And if your thumbs are touching your back, let the hands, interlaced fingers, walk up the back wall as you look down to your left foundational foot, to your ankle, to your knee. Breathe, lifting the arms higher, 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 and then finish. Hands back to prayer center. Right foot meets left. Maybe you stay right here, strengthening the quads. Don't judge yourself. It's all good. Hands on the hips, hands on the thighs, hands to prayer center. Whatever works today. I'm going to put the weight into my right leg now, lifting my left leg up, creating that figure 4. The outside of the ankle is on the right thigh. Maybe you just kind of hold on to that leg. Maybe that feels right. I'm going to bring my hands to prayer center, get my balance by focusing on the present moment. Hands come to my low back, interlaced fingers, kind of work up the back wall, looking down to my right toes, my ankle, my right knee, working the interlaced fingers up, up, up. Finish. Hands to prayer center. Left foot meets right. Come on up to a standing position. How did you do? That's a challenge. All right. Extended mountain. Reach. Exhale. Prayer center hands. Fold forward. Fold forward. Capture the backs of your calves. Fold in half. Hollow out your belly. You got this. Like a paper clip. Fold in half. Finish. Bend your knees. Come on down to a seated position with your legs long in front of you. Now, seated forward fold. We did that forward fold standing. Remember when you did your body in a paper clip? That's a forward fold. Seated forward fold. Think of the ground underneath your feet. So you draw your toes up. Wouldn't be standing on your toes. Draw your toes up towards your shins. Lengthen up. You could take your strap again if you want. Lengthen up through your fingers to the sky and then reach forward, reach forward. If you want your strap, you can put it under your feet. You can use your strap whenever you want, whatever feels good for you. So send your chest forward to begin as you look forward, elbows hugged in. And then bring your gaze towards your knees. Inhale, your belly fills up so you lift up. Exhale, your belly hollows out so you can fold more forward. Use the strap if you want, or use your hands. Hands to your ankles, your calves, whatever you can reach. Maybe reach for your feet. Maybe drape your wrists over your toes so the palms of your hands are meeting the soles of your feet. This is like a gorilla pose. Let's do gorilla pose tomorrow. That's a standing pose where you stand on your hands like this. Big breath in, big breath out. And then let's bring our shoulders up over our hips. All right, so let's spread our legs wide just for a moment. You can bring the blocks between your legs, or you can come on down to your forearms or whatever you like. Just a wide-legged forward fold to prepare us for a pose we're going to do in just a second. All right, come on out of it. Shoulders up over your hips. Come down to your stomach. Let's do Superman. All right, great for strengthening your spine. We strengthened our spine with our You Will Look Taller pose. Let's do it even more. Arms reach long to the top of your mat. Tops of your feet are at the edges of your mat. Your head is down on your mat, your nose, your chin on your mat. Lift one leg, then the other, and think Superman. We're gonna fly like Superman, but maybe if you wanna just lift one leg and keep it up for a moment and then do the other, that is a fine place to be. Legs come down. Do the arms. One arm up, other arm up. Maybe you got that going. Maybe add it all together. Lift your legs up, lift your arms up, lift your chin up, gaze forward, fly like Superman. Breathe, breathe. Lift higher. You're balancing on your hips, stretching, reaching. Sweep your arms back like a big old B-52. Palms face down, fingers reach towards your feet. Gaze down your nose, you get a little more lift here. This is also called a locust pose, one variation of it. I prefer airplane. All right, let's reach. Reach Superman again. Reach back. Fly that airplane. Breathe. Breathe. Lift. And then finish. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press on up through a seal pose. Soften in your glutes. Think of spreading your hips wide to the side. Create space there. Come on up to your knees. Come on up. Let's do a very small, gentle camel pose. For your gentle camel pose, come on up so your shoulders are over your hips. Hands to your low back. Squeeze your elbows toward your spine. Kind of like when we do a standing back bend in the beginning. Look forward, keep your hips over your knees. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe look directly overhead. And then finish. All right, we'll do a full camel pose tomorrow. Let's come on down to our bottoms. Bring your strap or whatever you're using to substitute for it. Be creative. Bring it up near your shoulders and your eye shade and your towel too. Bridge pose. Knees bend, you recline. Soles of the feet on your mat. Arms down by your sides. When you're ready, you're strong. This pose always makes me feel so strong. Press the weight into your feet. Lift your hips on up. Breathe. Shoulders. Wiggle your shoulder blades closer to your spine. Hands, interlace them behind your low back. Press your pinkies into the mat and lift your hips even higher. Breathe. That's your bridge pose. Arms, release them if you interlaced your fingers. Release them by your side. Roll your spine down one vertebra at a time. You've got control. Come on down. Tailbone comes down absolutely last. There you go. Find your strap. Send the center of the strap underneath the center of your feet, and then send your legs up to the sky. Hold on to the strap like reins of a horse. Draw your toes more to your shins. Hug your elbows in by your side. Maybe you stay right here. This feels really good. Now, left leg, I'm going to send it long on my mat. I'm going to hug my right leg in even higher so my legs look like the shape of the letter L. Both hands are on both straps. Now let's do an arc over our body, moving this leg. Big movement in your hips, but your hips can do it. It's a big ball and socket. Let's go. All right, let the pinky toe fall to one side, then the big toe fall to the other. When the pinky toe falls to its natural side, in this case the right side, tee out your left arm and look left. Bring the leg on back up. Let the big toe come down so it's crossing your body. Let the right arm tee out and look in the opposite direction that the toe's going. Breathe. Big arc with the right leg, teeing out the arms with the other hand. And if you don't have a strap, you can still do this. Tee it out. Keep the arms teed out and just move the leg. Pinky toe comes toward the earth, goes back up, up, up. Big toe comes toward the earth as you roll onto that left hip. There you go. All right, so let's switch the legs. Right leg is back up to the sky. Have the left leg come up to meet it. Even that is a good exercise. Draw your toes towards your shins, hug them in, breathe. You got it. Other side. So I'm going to lower my right leg now. Left leg is nice and high, with or without the strap. Strap makes it more fun. Strap makes it feel more intense too. And then do your arc here. Pinky toe falls toward the earth. Big toe falls toward the body on the other side, and you roll onto that hip. Now the difference is, keep doing your arcs. You can tee out the opposite arm from the leg if you like. And you want to keep that shoulder down when you do that. But the difference here in this arc, when the leg that's extended goes to its natural side, in this case we're doing the left leg, you want to keep both hips down. When you bring the leg up and it goes across the body, you roll onto that hip, the other hip. So left leg goes to the right side, I'm rolling onto the right hip. All right, back and forth and back. How are you doing? It's all good. Let's finish up here with or without your strap. Send both legs back up to the sky. If you got the strap, kind of really nice. Bend the toes towards your shins. Put a little bend in your knees, maybe. Let it feel great. And then release the strap. Let the legs come on back down. Legs come on back down. Don't you feel more mobile in your hips? It's all good. All right, I want to do one last little thing before final Shavasana. Bend your right knee. Interlace fingers or use your towel if your fingers can't quite reach to that knee. Use the towel to think of extending your arms longer. Hug the right knee in. As you hug your right knee in, your arms are strong. You did a really long plank today, didn't you? Your arms are really strong. Draw the toes of the right foot towards your shin. Hug this knee in really strong with those mega strong arms. Left leg is long on your mat. Drive through your heel. Breathe. Release the right leg long on your mat. Drive through the heel. Really, really make that right leg super duper long. Bend the left knee with the towel or the interlaced fingers. Hug under it. Shoulders are relaxed away from your ears. Elbows hugged in. Tight, tight squeeze here. Your hips are meant to move. Move them. Go for a walk today. Even if it's just 10 minutes, it makes a huge difference. Move. Don't sit too much. All right, release the leg long. That's it. Best pose yet. And I still have a question for you, don't forget. Let your feet spread toward the edges of your mat. Cover your eyes with your eye shade or your towel. I know my brother, Stan, likes to put a towel underneath his neck. It just feels better. So you make your yoga work for you. Cover your eyes, block out the light, and focus inward. There's no better place to be. Palms face up, arms slightly away from your body, pinky toes, because you've got mobility in your hips. The pinky toes fall toward the earth. Eyes are closed. Eyes are heavy in their eye sockets. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. With each exhale, feel your body just surrender to the earth as you relax. Big breath in. Big breath out any way you like it. Maybe you're keeping your lips closed with that Ujjayi pranayama breath. Breathing in deeply, listening to your breath, and breathing out deeply. Maybe you prefer the deep inhale through the nose and an audible, calming exhale out the mouth. And don't skimp on the inhale or the exhale. Take the inhale deeper and bigger than you think you can as you fill all the way up. And slowly let the exhale take every last little bit of stale air out of your body. Even that area between your eyebrows, you hold on to tension there in those muscles. Let it go. Take a deep breath in and a deep full breath out. Stay longer and enjoy this fantastic restorative pose. If it's time for you to conclude your day, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move the motion up into the wrists and the ankles. Then reach high overhead and take a big good morning stretch. Even point your toes, get more length here. Reach through the fingers, reach through your armpits even. Reach. Exhale, bend your knees and roll onto one side or the other. Even enjoy how it feels on your hip when you roll onto it. Rest your head on your low arm's bicep. Top shoulder is soft. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Gently, slowly, maybe keeping the eyes closed, press on up to a comfortable seated position. In your comfortable seated position, bring your hands to prayer center. Eyes are closed. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Settle in, be at peace. Enjoy one more deep cycle of breath just in this moment. Think of nothing else. Big breath in. And big breath out. Gently blink, your eyes open. Ta-da! You did it. You did your 1 hour of yoga. Stress number you took in the beginning. What is it now? How do you feel in your body? Really just take a second. Okay, how do I feel? That should tell you how important and how good your yoga can make you feel. All right, so here's the question I said I'd ask you in the beginning. My question is this: do you wish that you hadn't done your yoga today? I don't think anybody ever answers that question with, yeah, I wish I hadn't done it. Because you just feel better. Continue on, do good things, do your yoga throughout the day, carve out that time for you, even in this busy time. There's always time for you, because the time you spent on you makes you better for everybody else. And remember, when life is hard, you need to come back and do your yoga. It's good for your head. And life gets harder whenever you try to make it easier. And when you try to make it easier, life gets harder. Does that make sense? You know what I mean. All right. Have a good day, everybody. See you back on your mats tomorrow so you can move better. Bye. Namaste. Oh, my goodness. You are silly today. Okay, calm down. You're a good girl. And so are you. You're a dear for still being here. It's a busy time of year. I know that. We've all got things we got to do. But stick with your yoga. It's the best thing you can be doing for yourself, for your body, for your mind, and for your heart. So tell your friends how this yoga has been affecting you this year. How good it is, right? Tell them about it. It's free for anybody and everybody. We're here every day for them, here every day for you. They can join us anytime they want from the privacy of their own home, and you know all that stuff. You also know that you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com if you'd like to support our broadcast. Thanks for being here. Enjoy the season, and I'll see you on your mats tomorrow.